Another week, and we are back here on the 3 a.m. Coney. We are not recording at 3 a.m., but one day we will. And one day we'll probably be eating cheese Coneys while we record this.
No, this podcast is not related to the Supreme Court nominee either.
It's not. Just in case.
It is the 3 a.m. Coney is not Amy Coney Barrett at 3 a.m., talking about judicial issues.
Did we have people thinking that's what this podcast was about?
No, I was just thinking.
For clarity's sake, we will not be discussing that.
No, but I just wanted to clarify that off the top. It's not that I thought people thought that. It's just that I thought that maybe somebody could think that out there, but it's not that. And I just thought it was interesting because I was listening to News Report, Matt, and somebody kept saying, "Oh, I'm going to give." I think it was listening to some talk show or something, or I heard it. Like, "Oh, we're going to give, Amy Coney Barrett a nickname. We're going to call her the Coneys," or like. And I was like, "Wait, podcast." Yeah. And it made me think about it like it's not a Amy Coney Barrett thing. So
okay, well, I missed that one. We have other things to talk about, namely Cincinnati sports with the Bengals playing the Ravens, doing a post-mortem of that. We got the AJ Green dilemma. We got the Bearcats up to number 8. We got Cincinnati versus Vegas. We got Andy Dalton comeback, the savior of Dallas.
Very happy for him. Very happy.
Yeah. What do you want to start with? You said we could start with the barometer. You said that the national media is probably not at a 10 anymore.
Yeah, it's down to a 7.5. This was a perfect storm to tamper down Joe Burrow hype this weekend. You had Andy Dalton winning a game for the Dallas Cowboys.
Yep.
You had Justin Herbert throwing 4 touchdowns on Monday night and now is, by every counting stat and probably in the PFF grade now, outperforming Joe Burrow as a rookie. And the Chargers have offensive line issues too. So you have this perfect little storm that's going to push the barometer down, obviously. This was going to happen, though. There were going to be ups. There were going to be downs. I knew that Andy was probably going to come in at some point this season and play well. And we were going to have to hear we should have just kept Andy and traded the number 1 for 4 draft picks. And I knew that we were going to get blown out by somebody, and it was going to be this type of reaction. But that's how Bengals fans are. Even if you give them the greatest gift in the world, they don't know how to appreciate it. But it is
which is what Joe Burrow is to this city.
It's all love, though, Bengals fans, okay? Even the guy who in the second quarter of the Chargers-Bengals game, when I was sitting in the nosebleed section, even to this man who was calling for Marvin Lewis and Andy Dalton's job in the third quarter. Now, I know they weren't playing well, but they had just gone 8-0 at home and went 11-5 on the year and were the 3 seed.
Right.
And you're at the playoff game. You bought the ticket, dummy. And you're calling for the quarterback and head coach's job when we're down a score? Like, what are you doing? Like, get out of here. Like, that type of stuff has always irked me. But I think it's every fan base. I just think from a perspective of love, because we all want to win. And when we win, everybody shuts up, Matt, and everybody's happy and cheery and smiling and hopeful. And that's what we want. And unfortunately, we didn't get that this week.
Well, so where are you putting your barometer at? You were at a 13 or something last week. Are you trying to go back down to a 10, a 9, a 9.5?
I think I'm going to stick at 10. I think I'm going to.
You were expecting a week like this. We thought that it was almost going to be in those first 2 games that Joe Burrow was going to be more of that rookie kind of play.
Look at his stat line, Matt, against the Chargers. Yeah. It's like the same thing. 66 rating. Same thing, 66 rating. Only difference is against the Chargers, they got lucky, good field position, and had a touchdown run. That's the only difference between those 2 games. And remember, guys, they punted on the fourth quarter in this game when the offense had a little bit of rhythm right before that Mike Thomas fumble. So I don't think you get a full 4-quarter picture of Joe Burrow against the Ravens. Obviously, the first 3 quarters were ugly. But here's the things we knew before the game. We knew that Joe Burrow was a rookie quarterback. We knew the offensive line was bad, and we knew the Ravens were really good.
Yep.
For the season, we had said, hey, do you know how many times on this podcast, Matt, did I say, oh, the Ravens are going to kill us? The Ravens are going to kill us. I said that time and time and time again.
Yeah.
in my preseason predictions, in which I predicted the Bengals to go 9-7 and make the wild card. So I am taking this from an optimistic perspective. I said we were going to lose to the Ravens in blowout double-digit fashion. So we say all that. I look at the numbers. They're 13-point underdogs. He's a rookie quarterback for the first time in the AFC North. This Ravens team that demolished the talk of the town, Cleveland, 38-6. All these things happen. All this I knew. And I'm supposed to come out of this game and change my opinion about the Cincinnati Bengals and Joe Burrow. To me, that's kind of stupid, right? That's the worst way to go about having a take about a team, is saying something's going to happen. Say all these factors are going to happen all year. And then just because on Sunday morning we woke up with more hope than we thought we would, and then it doesn't happen, we're going to change our opinion. But on Saturday night, we had the same opinion. So it's one of those fan things you've got to push through. Okay. It's the Ravens. That should have been a 20-14 game. That's how it ended up playing out. And hey, the one new piece of information we learned, everybody, we got a D coordinator and we got a defense. Okay. They're going to figure it out. That unit's going to be fine. And Lou is safe through 2021. We learned nothing else new on Sunday, nothing else. And we shouldn't panic whatsoever at all and just keep moving forward. I said they were going to go 2-6-1 by the end of 9 games. Mm-hmm. They're 1-3-1. So I still think they're going to go 1-3.
Still get there. Yeah.
I'm not going to change my opinion on it when they lose to these good teams. I'm not. I refuse to. I think it's stupid. And I think to change your opinion about rookie quarterbacks, because Justin Herbert's having a lot of success throwing the deep ball, and he's got a lot of great receivers, and he does have more time than Joe Burrow. I refuse to change my opinion on it. I thought Herbert was going to be a good player. And here he is. He's a good player. I just think Joe has all the intangibles you want and is going to be better late in games. Justin Herbert, do you see this, how they have a problem winning games late? They're going to have that problem for a long time, Matt, okay? Because for some reason, in the biggest situations of the game, sometimes Herbert just falls apart. Makes a horrible decision, a bad moment, everything just falls apart. And we can look at this Sunday and say Joe Burrow fell apart, but I really don't think so. Because there are plenty of Bengals quarterbacks I've watched, Andy and Carson, behind that O-line, they would have thrown 3 or 4 picks and demolished the game. You might have had to bench them. But Joe didn't. He threw 1. And if Mike Thomas doesn't fumble, we probably lead a touchdown drive.
Yep, absolutely.
That was a point game.
That was a good momentum shift that I thought we were going to score on that drive. We got a touchdown on that drive that could have gotten the Bengals back into the game. That was a terrible fumble that just taken right out of his hands.
Yeah. I mean, it was an awful fumble, but seriously, when you watch the game back, Joe Burrow was a little, yes, there were some bad moments. There were. He didn't.
This is the most rookie that I would say Joe Burrow has looked in a game this season.
But it's because he's playing the best defense he played.
Right, exactly.
Do you remember watching?
They are who we thought they were.
Do you remember watching him the first time he played Alabama?
No.
It looked a lot like this. It looked like he was like, they are faster than I've ever seen, and they're doing things I've never seen before. And our front can't handle it to get me in a rhythm. And I can't really handle it right now either, because it's the first time seeing something. Okay. It's his first major league fastball. It's his first AFC North defense.
Yeah.
Chill. Give him a second. And all this, oh my God, the guy on Twitter who said, oh, Joe Burrow's already ruined. He's already ruined.
What?
He's ducking in the pocket. Bengals already ruined him. He's scared.
Oh.
He's scared. Anybody that thinks Joe Burrow is scared right now it's nothing. There's no evidence that suggests he's scared. Is he going to struggle because he's facing pressure? Yes, but he's not scared. He's not going to take, the only part of Joe Burrow I'm worried about is the physical health. The mental health of taking these hits, I frankly am not worried. That's why you draft the kid and not Herbert. Because the thing about Herbert is I think he's great for Los Angeles. But if we drafted him here in Cincinnati in this situation, he definitely wouldn't have played this year. There's no way you could have played him. He wouldn't have been ready. And I just think that Stick with them, stick with the team, give them time, give them patience. We're not going to be able to judge this team fully until after the 14th week. That's when we'll have a full judgment of this coaching staff after the 14th week. And I have a feeling that we're going to be very happy by that time.
Well, we will find out. We can talk about the Ravens and the under hitting in our Cincinnati versus Vegas. We both got destroyed in that. We both took the Bengals plus 12 and the over 50.5. And I was back and forth with maybe going under there, but I figured the Ravens were going to possibly get to 45, 50 on their own. But yeah, Bengals defense showed up. That was one of the positives of that past game. So that puts me at 0-2 for the week. You at 0-2 for the week. I'm at 4-4 overall.
Yeah.
You are at 3-5 overall.
Nice.
That's not great. That is also the first time that Joe Burrow has not beat the spread for the Bengals.
So have I missed every over-under then? Or have I just hit one?
No, not every single one.
Okay. Yeah, we should have covered that spread. We got spreaded. That fumble was a 14-point swing. I really think at the very least, it would have been 20-7. And that's 13. And I got that thing at 13.5. I would have still lost in this. But where my money was 13.5 because I got it early in the week.
Right.
So it's just a shame. We got gambled. We got bamboozled. Mike Thomas
started moving in the Bengals' favor. And I mean, the game could have gone that way and it could have been closer to that, but it was not. Anything else to say about that game before we do the outlook coming up?
No, I think that we should together here on the Coney, Matt, we should bury the hatchet of this game.
Yeah.
It's done.
It wasn't like we were favored and we got blown out. This is exactly what we thought this game was going to be like.
Yep. So it's met expectation. Let's bury the hatchet. See the Colts.
Take it and you move on. We are on to Indianapolis. We have the Bengals plus 8 points with the over-under at 46.5. Where you at?
I definitely plus 8. And just the over-unders are killing me here. I mean, really killing me. They always kill me. I never bet them.
Well, so do this. So you're taking the Bengals plus 8. What is your final score prediction?
Man. See, this is always a midweek thing. I want to, but the thing is, my feeling right now, and this is I'm subject to change this, and I would inform everybody if and when I do. But right now, to me, this feels like a 23-12 Cincinnati Bengals win. I think the defense is going to earn a little swagger, and they've got a statue back there in Phillip Rivers, and Geno is back. So this is what happened. We had DJ Reader, no Geno. Then for 2 quarters, we had DJ Reed and Geno. Now we just have Geno. But that's okay, as long as that's why you signed free agents, to give yourself depth and flexibility. So Geno is actually better than DJ. So our defense will be a little better off than it was just with DJ. So
that does hurt losing DJ here, though.
I know, and it's really sad. But DJ is going to be a good player here for a couple of more years. Okay, DJ Reader's coming back. He'll be great. He was a great leader in the locker room, and he'll still be a great guy on the sideline. But we've got Geno there. That's why you sign free agents. Guys can get hurt. You get depth. You get pieces. Geno's still there. I think the defense because the defense got a lot of pressure on the front against the Ravens. I was very impressed, very happy. The reason they didn't get many sacks, though, is because I'm pretty sure Lou told them not to sack Lamar. Like, it looked like they were bowing away from Lamar. I watched Sam Hubbard do this. I watched Sam Hubbard come as a free rusher on Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
Plant his foot, looking at Lamar 2 yards away, plant his foot and bow out into coverage when there wasn't a screen there. It was just to keep Lamar in the pocket. They wanted him to throw. And that's what the Ravens were saying.
Okay.
Ravens said that I know I just said we weren't talking about this game, but the Ravens said in the press conference, Ravens said, hey, we've never seen that scheme before. That was new to us. And that, to me, that's the most satisfying thing I could have heard.
Forcing him to throw. It
was
strategy.
And it was good coaching. And I think that against Phillip Rivers, who now you can tell him that guy ain't running anywhere. So go right
Go
ahead.
through him. Go through that old man.
This is the one quarterback in the league that Sam Hubbard can consistently tackle. The one. There's only one, and his name is Phillip Rivers. He is Sam Hubbard target. He's going to have 2 sacks. Everybody's going to get on the action. They're going to turn him over. It's going to be a game break day for the defense. And Joe Burrow is going to look competent against a good defense, not turn the ball over, manage the game, put up like 210 yards, 2 tutties, no picks, easy day, on with the dub, move on to the Browns.
There you go.
23.
There you go. Okay, well, it sounds like with that score prediction that you are taking the under.
I had to talk through it, but yes.
There you go. You got there. So I'm gonna take the Bengals and the over just to be different from you, because I don't want to be exactly and match you again, because we've been taking the Bengals and the over pretty much every week. So,
well, that definitely means it's going to be like 35-31 because I picked the under. So
there you go. But Bengals win. As long as it's the Bengals win, I'm good with it.
Honestly, predicting a Bengals win 23-12 is extreme.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I have a strong feeling about the defense. I just think they're a little underrated right now. Nobody wants to get any more points to the Bengals.
They were for sure the surprise for me for that last game. I hope that continues, and it's not like the offensive line. Oh wow, they're great now. No, they were just playing Jacksonville, and they went right back to their own bullshit.
Yeah, I mean, well, right now the thing is, Matt, there's a lot of Cincinnati fans screaming at us, "Hey, the Bengals kind of suck. We should talk about the team that's actually really good. We should talk about the team that is achieving history, its first benchmark since 2009.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, well, what team is that?
It's the Cincinnati Bearcats.
That's right. Go
Cincinnati Bearcats. Representing the Group of Five well, me as a Group of Five alum from Ohio University, always loved the Bearcats. Although we did have to play the Bear. That was a fun game, though. I would love for that to be a rivalry, Ohio and Cincinnati. It wouldn't be a harsh rivalry at all. Bobcats love people from Cincy. I think we all much love together. We all hate Ohio State. That's all that matters, right?
I would play that as a home and away every season. That'd be awesome.
Exactly. But it's amazing. It's exciting. They're forcing a lot of turnovers again. That Group of Five representative is always dangerous in a year where all the powers look like they're weak. I've got a buddy of mine who does these crazy money line bets, and he calls them steamrollers, where he picks a major favorite, bets the money line just to try to win a little bit of money. And he calls it picking up a penny in front of a steamroller. Most of the time, you're going to get the penny clean and walk away from the steamroller, and it's never going to hit. But one of these times, that steamroller is going to get you.
Until you bet 1,000 to win $50 and lose it.
Exactly. So steamrollers, because he tracks them. He doesn't always bet all of them, but he's like, here's a steamroller, here's a steamroller. Steamrollers in college football are hitting like crazy. There are dogs winning everywhere and way more than usual because it's the COVID shortened season. And it's going to be more irregular for younger players. And at the college level, they're so athletic that you're going to get a lot of variance back and forth. You're going to have a guy that doesn't know what he's doing make a great play against another guy that doesn't know what he's doing. It's completely unpredictable. And that plays right into the Bearcats' hands. Because for a Group of Five champion to get in, the college football playoff has to be like, hey, this is a weird year. They kind of actually did earn it. That's the year it has to be this year. So maybe there's an outside chance, hope for that. But just go undefeated. Make the city proud. Be like that.
I hope so. Up to number 8 in the top 10. You said that this is the highest since 2009. That's back in my Bearcat days. Living right there on campus. We had Brian Kelly, and this was going to the this was fighting Tim Tebow in the Sugar Bowl there at the end of the season.
And that was the year that the Bengals swept the whole division.
Yeah.
It was a good year. It was a good fall in Cincinnati. I remember that stuff. That was great. And now we got the Bearcats flying, and I'm excited for it. It's relevant college football. I love it. Bearcats are the team I'm ready to watch on the weekends. I just want them to keep winning.
This is not going to be a steamroll for them this weekend. against Tulsa potentially. We'll see if they can earn that top 10 spot with how well they do in this game.
I'm pretty sure they're going to handle Tulsa.
Yeah.
Beat them 24-13, 11 points last year. And Cincinnati's a better team. And I've never been impressed by Tulsa. I really don't like what they ever have had going on in that program. And I just definitely think Cincinnati will win that game. That one seems pretty cut and dry to me. I just don't see Tulsa as a major threat to Cincinnati. Although,
no, ask your buddy if he's betting the house on him.
Oh, no, I think he already got hit with a steamroller. I think he's
oh, he did.
He got hit with one. He's done with it. I know only Cincinnati's 3-point favorites. I think I'm seeing.
Yeah,
it doesn't. I think they're a better team than Tulsa, and I think they're going to win against Tulsa. But here's the thing: don't trust me. My all-time college football record is horrendous. I have lost.
Yeah, we don't need to start adding that in here.
For every dollar I've made in the NFL, I have lost in college football. So I'm dead even. I've made a bunch in the NFL and lost a lot in college football.
College football is kind of like baseball for me. It's like I usually just want a good game, but half the time it's a toss-up, and I can't even. It doesn't matter how much I bet on it. I'm pretty much just going as long as I'm okay with losing all of that and still watching the game. That is the amount that I would bet on college football.
Yeah, I just lost a lot of money betting on Ohio and all those Maction games, and just they're gonna do this and that and this and that and this. And college football is just really unpredictable. It's really hard to bet on, in my opinion. I know some buddies of mine who are pretty good at it, but it's unpredictable. It's chaotic. But Luke Fickell is this stability type of character, and it's a year in which a team like Cincinnati gets better from the year before, can lock in, focus, really big goal, and just cut out the noise. And I think Luke Fickell is the perfect type of coach for this.
Oh, yeah.
He clearly didn't handle chaotic situation well in his opportunity at Ohio State. To go 6-6 with Ohio State is pretty embarrassing.
Mm-hmm.
So he did not handle a chaotic situation well. This is a chaotic situation in a different sense, in the fact that you can lock out the outside world and stay singularly focused. And I think that's right in Luke Fickell's wheelhouse as a coach. And that's why I'm excited about the Bearcats. You bet on a -3. I think they'll beat Tulsa. I really think they're headed for an undefeated season. It just feels like it's that type of year. Why not? It's 2020. The Browns are 4-1.
Somehow.
There's a global pandemic. Stuff is going crazy left and right. Okay. Why not? LeBron's a Laker. It's all crazy.
And they won. Wow. Yep.
Imagine going back to the 1980s and finding a Lakers fan and go, you see your coach right there? Yeah. Okay. He is going to coach. He's going to be the GM of a guy who's never been born yet. Okay. He's going to take him, and then he's going to win championships in Miami. And then he's going to play your team again. That same guy is now going to play for you in the NBA finals. You're like, what? Oh, and Donald Trump's president. Wait a minute.
You
just
throw a list
out here.
You could have a list 20 pages long of all the absurdity of things that no one would have thought that should have happened this year. Absurd.
It's not. It's just this. We're definitely in some sort of simulation, some sort of game theory.
But
I think
I'm gonna add on to that with the absurdity and the simulation and the lock of the Bearcats, and talk about Andy Dalton.
Yes,
being 2-0 whenever he plays in a game for the Cowboys. There's your lock of the week. You can bet Andy Dalton through the rest of the year. He's not going to lose a game.
Well, I wouldn't go that far, but they could win that division.
He is currently undefeated. He is 100% every time he plays.
Oh, man. You know what I need to look up? Because this might be interesting. Andy Dalton's career stats against the NFC East. Because I bet he's tore them up. Because we usually do pretty well against the NFC East.
Yeah. I had tweeted after that game that Andy Dalton has not played a full game yet, and he is still the best quarterback in the NFC East.
He might. I don't know if he's better than Carson Wentz, but
have you watched Carson Wentz play?
I'm not going to punt on Carson quite yet. I want to see the season, but I completely understand.
I know you're a Carson fan, but
I'm not a Carson. I'm probably just I love his talent. When I love a guy's talent. And Andy, I never loved his talent, but I loved his attitude, his checks of the line. I thought he was pretty accurate. Okay, here we go. We actually have games versus. I'm definitely going to look this up and I'll tweet about it because there's a way to see it. That's going to be a fun look because I have a feeling, and I definitely have a lot of memories of us doing really well against that division, the NFC East. At least Andy always had decent performances. Yeah. I think Andy Dalton got beat up on by a really tough division for a long time. And with the talent they have in Dallas, it's not necessarily a 2015 Bengals, but it's certainly a 2012 to 2014 Cincinnati Bengals. And they've got some weapons on the outside. Andy's really accurate. I think that they're going to be okay. They're going to win a lot of games. I think Andy Dalton's a guy to pick up in fantasy.
Yep, that's what all the fantasy people are saying, and that's what the Cowboys reporters are saying, that this could be the best offense that Andy Dalton's ever had.
Yeah, and he was nearly an MVP in 2015. So yeah. I don't think they're better than that 2015 team. I really don't. They're more hyped. They're more famous, but I don't think they're better. I think that 2015 team, we forgot how good that team was. That was top to bottom.
We were rolling in some of those games. Turn it off in the third quarter because we're up 20.
There was top 5 players in a lot of places on
yeah.
that Cincinnati Bengals team. Top 5 guys in a lot of places. So they're not that. This Cowboys team is not that team. They wouldn't be 1-4 if they were that team with Dak Prescott. But offensively, he's got a really good unit, and they're going to be a lot of fun. I'm excited for Andy. I don't know if they'll win the NFC East. It'll be close. It's going to be Andy or it's going to be Carson. Andy's got more weapons. I like Andy. I would trust Andy if I'm a Cowboys fan.
I mean, I'm going to be rooting for Andy the rest of the year, especially when they come in, what is that, December 14th, playing the Bengals.
He's going to do so much better without pressure.
We had talked about this, and obviously not wishing anything on Dak. What happened was terrible. I was sick to my stomach watching that again. That is unbelievably sad that happened. But having Dalton come in and playing Joe Burrow and the Bengals is that entire game is going to be so hyped for me.
It's an unlosable game.
Yeah.
You have to win that game. You have to dominate that game. And that's what I'm hoping to maybe get to. And that's in Cincinnati, right?
I believe so.
Yeah, that's one. Hopefully we'll see where the world's at, but I'd like to get to that game. That would be a lot of fun because that's going to be a high scoring game. I think Andy's going to come in. He's going to be motivated. But I think we'll win that game. That'll
be the first time that we'll hear Andy Dalton talking shit. He's been the nicest guy, but then in the pregame right before that, he's going to be like, you know what? You got to sit me on my birthday? Watch what happens.
That was messed up.
Watch what happens. He's going to look at Zach Taylor after like throwing a touchdown. He's going to stare at him. Just like, see that shit?
No,
yeah, I'm Andy fucking Dalton. That's right.
The reason we love Andy is because he doesn't do that.
He doesn't. But I really want to see that happen. I would love for him to just snap and just become this monster.
No, I think he's going to be super respectful and nice and say a bunch of nice things about Burrow and the team, not about Zach Taylor, but about everybody else. And yeah, all the Marvin guys hate Zach Taylor, all of them. I think we're starting to see that now because he really tried to shift the culture they had going, and those guys won a lot.
Yeah.
And it's not working at the moment. So they're starting to bail on him, and that's not good. And you need to clean house. If anybody that
there was a lot of fire Zach Taylor and fire Jim Turner after that last game.
Yeah, and trade AJ Green because of what he said on the sideline.
What'd you think AJ Green? Yeah.
What'd you think of that as we're winding down here at the end of the show?
I mean, I saw the clip. It looks like he was saying, if you're not gonna use me right or play me, like just trade me. And I mean, I wasn't seeing the effort from him that I wanted to, especially on that play where it looks like he's about to block some Bengals after that interception. He is running away from the DB with the ball, and I have no idea where he was going or where he ended up on that play, but he just kind of watched and then just kind of skipped through the play, trying not to get hurt, and still somehow injured himself anyway.
Was he really hurt? Is that a guarantee?
I don't know.
Here's the thing. I wasn't surprised at all by AJ Green's performance. I wasn't surprised at all that he was sitting at halftime. You shouldn't be surprised. It's the most obvious thing ever.
Yeah.
And not only that, We had a bunch of evidence, boatload of evidence. I tweeted it out. I tweeted out on all the pages, talked about it, how this guy's not getting separation. This guy's washed up. This guy has the worst catch percentage of anybody that's been targeted over 30 times. This guy is last out of qualifying receivers in separation. He gets less separation than Drew Sample on his routes. Okay? He's not even close to an elite wide receiver anymore. And Joe threw it up there. That's the last time AJ Green gets a 50-50 ball from Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
Last time. That's it. Never again are you doing that with AJ Green, because he didn't even try to fight for it.
No.
He didn't even try to make it look better or tip it or tackle the guy or react. Oh, I didn't see the ball. I don't think AJ saw the ball. Well, where are you looking? Ball's coming that way.
Right.
Where the hell else are you looking?
You move to the middle, and that's the only thing that you should be focused on is the ball coming that way.
I had stuff like that. And you know what? You know what, AJ? Compare that to the rookie who's been getting his face beat in on the fumble down 20-0, running down a guy nearly near the end zone at full sprint. At full sprint. And you know what? That might have been a message to AJ Green. That's not how we're playing. Mm-hmm. That's not this culture. And Carlos Dunlap doing that stuff in a press conference. You haven't been playing well. You're going to sit on the bench. That's how this works. You're not going to get coddled here. This is not a coddling organization. Your stuff in the media, it can't be that anymore. We tried that. We lost. We got embarrassed. We were a national embarrassment on TV against the Steelers. That's what that culture did for us. So we can't hang on to it. And that stuff after an interception, it's unacceptable. That's not how you win games. It was just unbelievable for me for AJ Green. That guy's got a C on his chest.
Yeah.
And he just hasn't performed for it. And a big part of this team to me, and I said that, was AJ Green buying in and following along and being a good soldier, because he will get all the rest of the guys that have been there before Zach Taylor to follow along with him. And AJ got too worried about his targets, too worried about his production, which I get it. It's a contract year. I get it. You're not playing well. You're human. I don't blame you. And AJ, you're one of my favorite, if not my favorite Bengal of all time. But you kind of got out of the mode of the team. You got out of the mode of all those things, and you became clearly, I'm not getting the ball. I don't care.
Yeah.
And that sucks.
In what should be, you have this rookie quarterback. AJ Green should be this leader out there that is trying to help him, that is helping these now young receivers and sample and teaching them. He has been a beast in this Bengals offense for so long, in the top 3, top 5 conversation for wide receivers in the entire NFL. And now you are coming back from injury, and you should have a chip on your shoulder, something to prove, and wanting to be at the very minimum showing that you still have it in terms of effort, strength, smart, like wisdom, football smarts, being able to show these young players, this is how you play the game. I'm going to lead by example, and he has not done that this year.
No, I don't think so. And you know what? AJ maybe just needs a reality check. And somebody close to him's got to go up to him and go, hey, bro, guess what? Your wheels fell off. It's happened to a lot of wide receivers at 32. Some of the greatest of all time, their wheels fell off. What makes the judgment between those that make the Hall of Fame at wide receiver and those that don't is when your wheels fall off, can you evolve your game and still remain a decently productive player? You're telling me that AJ Green can't figure out a way to slide inside to the slot and be a guy that sits in zones and is a possession receiver and a dominant red zone guy? He definitely can, but he needs the right attitude for it. And the coaching staff, this is on the coaching staff too, to communicate the message. And somebody needs to communicate to him, hey, you will have value, millions of dollars for the next 5 years if you just figure out how to do these things and show that you can do these things in our offense. And the coaching staff coaching staff lied to him. They said, you still got it. You're our number one. You're the guy we're going to throw too deep. And that's not what he was anymore.
Yeah, that has not happened. And that's one thing that I was going to bring up when you were talking about Justin Herbert and those deep balls and Joe Burrow, people talking about him not having those deep balls. We know not having enough time with the offensive line is absolutely contributing to that, but how much of that is not trusting your receivers or the receivers not going down there and making plays to warrant getting those deep throws?
Yeah, I think that if they haven't worked yet, you don't throw up 50-50 balls if they're not actually 50-50. You don't throw up 50 balls if they're not actually 50-50. That's a smart quarterback decision. So, I mean, the thing about the difference between Herbert and Joe is Herbert can just whip it out there. It doesn't matter. He can add an extra 20 yards, and Joe just doesn't have that arm. Some of the greatest ever, the two greatest ever, Tom and Peyton, did not have that arm either. Okay? It's not what playing quarterback's about. Okay? It's just not. So
Brady with that 4 up. I'm a big Peyton Manning fan. So I was on the Colts side, on the Broncos side, every time that Peyton was playing Tom Brady. I was calling Tom Brady a system quarterback, saying it was all Bill Belichick. Every time, like I like Brady. Brady, ever since he's gotten on social media, especially, and he's been in like he was in TED 2, and he's been in these commercials. Like he's funny. He's a funny guy. I absolutely respect him, but that like 4 was one of the greatest things I've ever seen. That made me laugh.
I thought, yeah, like, Tom, you got to know there's cameras on.
Come on, Tom. Come on.
You forget the down. You should go up to the ref and go.
Oh, Tom, here I know. I thought it was third down. Oh, sure, Tom. Let's get you to bed. You're fine.
If I were a quarterback and I legitimately forgot the down, I would know I'm on TV and I'd go up to the ref and I'd be like, "Was it 4th down?" Mm-hmm. And just look at him. Was it 4th down? And the ref goes, "Yeah." And I go, "Okay." And then I walk away and I go, "Damn."
And then you turn to the camera and you go,
"No," but Tom was like,
"What?
It was 4th down?" Like, Tom, you're 43. You don't know there's a bunch of cameras out there and you just lost the game?
How many downs we got? I have no idea.
I mean, wow. That was the bigger blunder to me than forgetting the down. Forgetting the down, then knowing you forgot the down and then understanding it and being able to cover it up is way better than forgetting the down and then
almost would have been better if he just ran up to the ref and just yelled, "Only 4th down. I was going to win this game on 5th down. God damn you." I've been in this league long enough. You should change the rules for me.
Or demand a review. No, it was 3rd down.
Throw the flag. It was 3rd down.
3rd down. Go look. And then it's 4th and you go through like a 5-minute review.
That would have been great too.
See, but Buccaneers fans be like, "It was 3rd down. We swear." Like,
completely unbiased. You have everyone else watching it like, how can they even review this? What the hell is happening?
Down. Everybody had it. You had it.
They just go back and he's like, "All right, so we checked. There was 1, 2, 3 downs."
Yeah, so it's 3rd down.
So it's 4th down now.
No, but you said 3 downs. It's 3rd down now.
Yeah.
4th, but no, 3 downs is 3rd down. And
All right, we're just gonna have to stop the game. Move it on. move it to Tuesday. We'll figure this out later.
All right. But we do have to stop the Coney. Been a long one, been a fun one. But yeah, I'm calm, Matt. I hope you're calm. I think we're all calm. They might not be
good.
If they lose the Colts. Don't freak out.
Yeah, you are not going to panic if they lose to the Colts?
Nope. I won't panic if they lose to the Browns. I won't panic if they lose to the Titans, and I won't panic if they lose to the Steelers. If they lose all these games, I will. If they lose all these games, now the next 4, they need to win all 4. Okay.
So you won't panic yet until they don't win that first of the 4.
Yeah, then I'll panic. But if they win one of these next games, then they can win 3 of those 4, and I'm going to be okay, right? I just think that we're going to be fine. They're fine. They're about from the 20th to the 26th best team with a high upside because Joe could have a great day. And that's a great place to be, okay? Great place.
That's where we're at. Don't panic. Bengals fans, enjoy the ride.
All right, that was the Coney. Appreciate you. See you next time.
Next week.